You know, this is a carbureted car, right? Normally, you would only be able to data log with like a fuel-injected car, but let me show you something. So I'm gonna go ahead and take you guys under Berger's car to show you what we got done here. So check out the upper torque boxes up here. So now he's got full adjustability. So if he wants to run a slick, a radial, separation, squat, whatever he wants, right? He's got his anti-roll bar in there. Everything's welded up real nice. Looks good, man. Scott and them guys do an awesome job. They also did some more welding around in the car, tightening up some stuff, helping him out there on some things.
They went ahead and drilled out the lower control arm for a 1/2-inch bolt. They said the 7/16s, they've seen them a lot, which I mean, it's like super high horsepower stuff, but they went ahead and drilled it out.
Cage just obviously comes through the floor, tied into the subframes. We just threw some seam sealer up here, that's why it looks like shit, but that was some of my doings. Yeah, man, really, really nice job, of course. So if you guys don't know, Coupe Performance is, man, they do awesome, awesome work. So my buddy Ben, they did his car, which was nasty, and many, many other cars. Yeah. Berger said that car was all right. Ben, you hear that? He's talking shit.
I'm gonna need y'all going over there to the drag swag. I done got a bunch of new stuff over there for you. To download some shirts. I think you're gonna really like what you see over there. Pick you up one or two. Shit, your friends, they gonna be like, damn, boy, where you get that shirt from? You tell them the drag swag. That's where I got it from. If they don't know where it is, send them the link. Shit.
Faster. Anyway, I've shown you guys the cage at least. I think I took some video with my phone. The cage is nice. Don't really have much to say, y'all. I mean, they just did a really good job, and it's just down to us having to put this damn thing back together. So right now, Berger's working on some wiring up here for the Terminator X and MSD, so all that's up in here. He's doing that now. I'll throw you guys up here to show you where we're at right now. So as you can see, we've got the throttle bracket and the linkage and all that stuff hooked up, so we're good there. We've got his fueling side done. Now this is not the carburetor he'll be running once he goes boosted. This is just an NA carburetor we had that come off of my 393. And we're gonna run that temporarily for now on motor so he can get used to the car. I know y'all wanna see a step-by-step process on this, but there's just no way we can, because we come out, we work on it for 2 hours, we get a few things done, and we come out and we work for 6 hours and we get 20 things done. It's just all over the place to try to video this car. There's just too much going on with it. So we're just doing updates for you guys. I will tell you that we are running out of time. This car needs to be in Tennessee for Ford Takeover in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So, but it, you know, honestly, we're pretty close to starting the car right now. We'll just see how it goes. I don't know. With that being said, I want to move over to the Calypso and talk to you guys about this thing. Ooh, look at that, man. She's back. It's been a long time since we've had this car out and really been driving it and beating on it. And boy, is she back. She's back, honestly, better than ever, in my opinion. Now, last time you guys saw this car, she was all like, you know, wires hanging everywhere and shit. So we're down to, you know, one wire that goes over to the computer for tuning, or either this wire. They're both down there. So tuning cables, essentially. Now, something else I want to mention, I should have done an update years ago on this. Do you see all these stains in these seats? This is literally from water that drips down the rail here onto the seats. Look, these Corbeau seats are comfortable. They're great seats. Don't get the gray. Just don't get gray. We're gonna probably paint these damn things or dye them black, because I can't handle this, and probably get some black carpet as well. But there you go. If you guys are wondering about the Corbeau seats, man, they're great. I say buy them, just don't buy gray. Now, my engine bay is not as pretty as Berger's, but we got us a little runner here. This thing is quick. This car is running phenomenal. I'm telling you now, I absolutely love this setup on this car with the CSU. We did a lot of rejetting on this thing. So we started out with 92s in the front and 97s in the rear. Now, I think Kevin's used to these high horsepower cars, and he probably thought my 393 was making some serious steam like he's used to. not so much. We don't know what this thing makes, man. It probably makes 500 horsepower at the crank. I don't know. I have no clue what this little thing makes. But I will say that we had to jet it way down. Now we are on E85, and it does have front and rear power valves. So those power valves have some really big jets, I guess you could call them, power valve restrictors. They're actually, there's 4, there's 2 on each side of the power valve. So it's getting a lot of extra fueling from back there as well. I'm gonna go ahead, start the car up, let you guys hear it again. And me and Berger are gonna take this thing down the road and kind of row through the gears. Now here's something that some of you might not believe, because it sounds crazy whenever you say this, but because this car is on slicks, it spins really bad. It spins all the way through first and second, and I think it tries to hook up in third, but slicks are not always the option, the best option, I'll say, for a street car. Now that goes against what a lot of people think. They think, oh, no, slick's always better. Not necessarily. These tires start to roll up on you. Can you guys see that? They need a good clean surface, and the street will just tear these damn things to pieces. They will work if they're, you know, on a prep surface. Maybe you put down some, you know, stripper glitter or something like that. You do a good burnout, you're on a decent road, maybe concrete. Yeah, sure, I mean, you can make a slick work, but most of the time, if you're just out driving around, having a good time, and you just make a hit, I've had not the best luck. So at some point, we'll be putting radials on this car, but probably no time soon. Now, at the track, these slicks are gonna be perfect at the track. We will get this car to the track at some point. We got some bugs we need to work out of it. Not bugs, but we need to test the car, I'll say. But as of right now, man, we're pretty damn good. This thing's running awesome. Actually, I just got a new tune from Dennis at All Stock Racing for this car. Now, the tune that we have going in this car is literally just timing, okay? There are a couple of tweaks in there, some safety measures and things like that he went and tweaked for me, but it's essentially just timing. He built me a really nice, pretty timing curve for this thing, or graph, I should say. That way this thing, you know, transitions nice and smooth, and we're not going from 24 degrees at idle to 33 degrees, you know, instantly. So it's gonna make it a lot more drivable. And also we can pull power out of this thing if we need to, like whenever we hit it and we need to try to reduce some of this wheel spin and this power, we can do that. So we're gonna drive the Calypso. Let me give you guys an update on Space Ghost. Space Ghost, whoo, this was the car that whenever I got it, I felt guilty. I didn't think the channel was gonna like it. I didn't think it was gonna fit in, honestly. Whew, has slowly become my daily. Actually quickly become my daily. I drive this thing every day now. I was gonna try to like put it up and not, you know, drive this thing all the time and rack up miles. It's too fun not to. It's a nice car, it's got leather, everything's great. Like, it's just, I love it. So let me talk to you about this real quick. So this is a Gen 6 3.0 Whipple VMP. And we've also changed the pulley down to a 3625. So that's 2 more pounds of boost. And the car is on a mix of Boostane and maybe a degree extra of timing over what it would normally have without it, right? We're just trying to be safe here. Let me tell you something. This damn thing is an animal. This car, oh, this car it's wicked. It's wicked. Now my tuner has done something that we're calling the throttle tamer tune. And what he's done is he's went in and he's changed the percentages, right? So this is all drive-by-wire on this car. So there's nothing here. You guys know how this works. There's no cable here, right? It just all works through sensors. So when you put your pedal down, it tells this to open. There's no actual physical cable. So what you can do with that is, say at 50% throttle, you can make this 20% open, or 30, or 45, or whatever you want. So what he did was he went in underneath 100% throttle, is stepped back, ramped down, if you will. Now you may say, well, don't take my power away. I want all my power. Well, when you get up into the power that these cars make, street tires, even drag radials, are hard to hook, even from a roll. So he's like, I got an idea, let's try it. I said, dude, get after it. Let's see if it'll work. Well, from basically 10% to 90%, I think it was, is all ramped in. And then at 100%, all your power comes back. Let me tell you something. Our 60 to 130 completely dropped. I think our best was a 6.6 with the car spinning, of course. And horrible DA for you guys that care about DA. I think it was like 2,700 or something like that. It was pretty bad, 2,400. All right, it went 6.6. you know, you can argue, you can say that's not that impressive. We're on 93, guys. We're still on 93. Well, he changed the throttle input on this thing so that now I can just roll into it and you don't get that hard hit at 40, 50% throttle. You know, it just ramps in real nice, kind of like nitrous. We went 631 and it short shifted. So he's working on that now. He's got that cleaned up for us. But on a short shift, the damn thing went a 631, almost a 620, which is, I think, impressive for 93 octane. So if you guys are wondering, do these VMPs make any power? Like, how quick are these cars? I don't really get into the 60 to 130 stuff, but it's a good measure if you're not on a dyno, right? So we don't have a dyno to measure the horsepower of this car. We can't go to the track all the time and figure out, hey, you know, is it quicker than it was last time? And we can't stop in the middle of the road and, you know, take off from a dead stop and run the risk of getting caught or wrecking the car. So 60 to 130 is a really good way for you to see if you've made any improvements on your tune. Now look, this is not a drag race tune, okay? That's separate. This is not a tune that you would take to the track and try to drag race. So we're gonna be working on that tune when we go back. So things are starting to kind of come together. You know, the whole idea here was to buy this car, make it fast, and then see if this car can run with it, build it to run with it. So we've taken the ACES kit off this car and put a carburetor on it. I will tell you it's faster now, feels faster than it did with the ACES kit, and it's quicker. Throttle response is right there. I prefer this honestly, but the ACES kit wasn't bad either, so I'm not gonna knock it. It had a dead spot, we couldn't get out of it. And it's just not, you can't have that for drag racing, right? But that's also not a drag race kit, you know what I mean? Like, you don't buy an ACES kit to go out and drag race. But I will tell you, for driving around every single day, dude, it's, the car, here's the crazy thing. The car runs really good, it's dependable now, it's reliable, but the ACES was easier to drive around, I will say that. It was a little easier, it didn't seem to buck as bad. But man, we've gotten this thing pretty much dialed in. I'm gonna tell you guys something else too, because this is gonna be one of those videos. So I talked with Kevin when we had when we first got this carburetor on the car, we put the E85 in it and we started trying to drive it around, and it was breaking up and things like that. So I'm like, oh shit, you know, run the log on it, we're way rich. So I called up Kevin and I'm like, look, I swapped everything over to Lambda just because it's easier to operate off of. So the numbers I'm gonna be giving you will be Lambda numbers. But I talked to him and I'm like, dude, we're somewhere like 0.63 Lambda. And he's like, man, we got to pull some jet out of this thing. I said, yeah, for sure. He said, you know, drop down these numbers. So I dropped down those numbers and instantly started clearing it up. After one jet change, we were able to go out and make a full throttle pull. It didn't run its best, but it ran pretty clean. So we worked on it some more. We changed the jets. We ended up dropping, like I said, like 10 jet sizes in the rear alone on this thing, and wow, man, we are running crispy now. We're still not where we want to be, but I don't want to pull any more jet out of it, to be honest with you. We're at so it's like 7.8 to 8.0 is somewhere where we're at Lambda right now on E85. So we're close. We're still a little rich, but man, is she rolling. But while I was talking to Kevin, he gave me a pointer. He gave me a tip, and I want to show you guys. He's like, have you found out how far you can push the carburetor on the idle circuit to get this thing to lean out? And I was like, no, not yet. He said, okay, here's what I want you to do. Start on one side and lean it out, which is turn it in a quarter of a turn. And then if no change, go to this one, turn it in quarter turn, go around. He said, I don't care if you go around one time, half a time, 10 times. You keep going quarter of a turn until you find the one that changes your idle, lowers it, and the car starts to stumble a little bit. He said, at that point, go in, richen it back up, another quarter turn where you were, and then move that back a quarter turn after that. And that's it. I said, don't you have to balance these things out? He said, no. Common misconception when it comes to carburetors. I said, okay, I'm listening. He said, you do not have to balance these things out. He said, it's just not how it works. There's you some good information, and that comes from Kevin, the man at CSU. Now, I advise you guys not to argue that point, okay? Because you do not have a faster car, nor have you built a faster car than Kevin, nor have you built as many carburetors as him. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, anybody that wants to argue the point, you're just wasting your time. So I mentioned it earlier, I think, but with these carburetors, you have, this one has a power valve in the front and the rear. So that's gonna supply some extra fuel on the transition. So with the power valve, there are little jets beside the power valves. Kevin said, look, he said, rather than taking all this jet out of it, he said, why don't you just go ahead and use these power valve restrictors that I sent you. I actually have them in the car. I probably need to get them and show you. He said, take one of those out that has the holes drilled in it, in the carburetor. Take it out and put one of these block offs in. Now they're not essentially just block offs. I mean, you can drill these out. They're meant to be drilled out, but these are blanks. So the fact that they are blanks and they don't have a hole in them, you can just use them as a block off, right? So he said, take one of them out and block it off. I said, okay. I said, so I guess I need to go to the other side of the power valve and do the same on that side, right? He's like, no. Once again, common misconception. He said it does not matter. You know how handy this would have been to know this throughout the years? Now, some of you probably already know this. I didn't know this. This is new to me. I'm like, so you mean to tell me I don't have to balance out on this side what I do on that side? No. Well, that's the type of information you get whenever you have a CSU carburetor. You wonder why you pay so much. Kevin is a very busy man, but he'll damn pick the phone up and he'll talk to you. He'll tell you those type of secrets and those things like that, right? You're paying good money for one of these carburetors, but there ain't a badder son on the planet when it comes to carburetors, and that's just that. So customer service is top notch, and I know he's super busy, but he may not answer the phone every time I call, but he'll usually at least text me back or something. And I think that's awesome to be that busy and still, you know, be able to talk to people. So we got a little bit of a hiccup here on the drive shaft. When we set the drive shaft length up, when we ordered it, it was before we sent it to the chassis shop. Now, pay attention to what's happened here. I don't know if you guys see it or not, but the wheel is actually forward some, which is why they had to cut out the wheel well. This is a compensation for this car having separation, and if he wants to go squat, you know, how the car will squat, it'll make up for it. But because of that, it's caused the rear end of the car to slightly move forward, and that little bit of clearance that we had that was good is now no longer good. So he's got to rush to Atlanta tomorrow and go take this drive shaft up there and get 1/4 of an inch taken off of it. 1/4 of an inch. But that's what it's gonna take. If we want this thing to do what it's supposed to do, that's what it's gonna be. Anyway, a lot of stuff going on, guys. We've been real busy. I hope you enjoy these videos like this though, because I mean, you kind of get up to date, right? If you're wondering what's going on the channel, these little update videos like this are how you learn. Because there's a lot of shit in the background going on here that you guys don't even know about. Look at that. Oh, we even got Pop's truck out over here, man. We took it out today, drove it around some. Every day something's going on, that's right. Yeah.
Last November every day.
Yeah, last November, every day he's pretty much been here. So, but it's coming together, y'all. Anyway, do what?
Y'all adopted me.
Yeah, we adopted Berger. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna head out here in a few minutes. Yeah. And we're gonna take the Calypso out and we're gonna rip on this. I'm gonna see if I can't get Berger to maybe stand beside the road and get a little video of the car, because we never get to do that for you guys. But it won't be like an all day thing. You know, we'll go out and make a couple hits on it and we'll get back, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. She's a little animal now for what it is. And remember, she's got at bare minimum a 200 shot going on her here real soon. We already have the kit and everything, so stand by. You know, this is a carbureted car, right? Normally, you would only be able to data log with like a fuel-injected car, but let me show you something. This is our data log. You can scroll through this just like you could with an EFI car, right? So this is our first hit that we made.